The first person is 39, standing in the kitchen of a house they bought 2 years ago for $612,000. The second person is also 39, in a kitchen with laminate countertops that have a small burn mark near the stove from 2019. Here's the gap. 2 people, same age, same general income, same city, and one of them has $229,000 more in investable assets. According to the Federal Reserve Bank of Atlanta's Homeownership Affordability Monitor, as of early 2025, the median income household would need to spend roughly 43% of its income. The National Association of Realtors reported that the median existing home price crossed $410,000 in 2025. Today, I'm going to show you exactly how the size of your house quietly determines the size of your future. Not the theory, the specific numbers. Think of a mortgage payment like a tent stake driven into the ground. Once it's in, everything else in your financial life has to be built around where that stake sits. This is called the anchor effect of housing, and it explains why 2 households earning nearly the same income can end up on completely different financial paths. Number 1. Most people believe getting approved for a mortgage means they can afford that mortgage. Number 2. Most people believe a bigger house is automatically a better investment. Number 3. Most people renovate almost immediately before they've lived in a house long enough to know what it actually needs. Remodeling Magazine's 2025 Cost versus Value report shows a mid-range kitchen remodel now averages over $85,000, recouping only about 45 to 50% of that cost at resale. Number 4, most people believe property taxes and insurance are minor add-ons to the real cost of the house. In high-growth markets like Texas and Florida, a 2025 Insurance Information Institute report found homeowners' insurance premiums rose more than 20% in a single year. Number 5, most people upgrade their house the same way they upgrade their car, because their income rose, not because their space genuinely stopped working. A 2023 study in the Journal of Consumer Research found spending calibrated to income bracket rises almost in lockstep with income itself. Number 6, most people think a 30-year mortgage is simply how mortgages work, with no real alternative worth considering. But Ramsey Solutions' 2024 National Study of Millionaires found the majority of self-made millionaires surveyed paid off their homes years ahead of schedule. A single extra payment of $500 a month toward principal on a $400,000 mortgage at 7% can cut nearly 9 years off a 30-year loan and save over $140,000 in interest. Number 7, most people never calculate what their specific house is costing them in lost investment growth. They only see the mortgage statement, never the shadow number sitting next to it. A household with a $4,000 monthly payment instead of a $2,500 monthly payment is not just spending $1,500 more a month. If that $1,500 difference were invested at 8% over 25 years, it becomes approximately $1,430,000. That's not the price of the house. Now let me tell you about Daniel and Whitney and Marco and Alicia. Daniel and Whitney were both 33 when they bought their first home together outside Phoenix, Arizona, combined income of $142,000 with $31,000 saved for a down payment. They found a house they loved, $545,000, 4 bedrooms, a pool, a 3-car garage, and stretched to make it work, telling themselves they'd grow into the payment as their careers advanced. 3 years later, when Daniel got a promotion, they added a $60,000 pool renovation and a home office addition, financed through a home equity line. Marco and Alicia started at nearly the same place. Combined income of $138,000, same year, same metro area, $28,000 saved. They looked at houses in the $540,000 range and walked away, instead buying a $365,000 3-bedroom in a plainer neighborhood. When Marco's father passed away and left a small inheritance, instead of using it for a bigger house, Alicia suggested they invest it. 14 years later, Daniel and Whitney have $94,000 in retirement accounts and still owe $410,000 on a house now worth $780,000 on paper. Marco and Alicia have $538,000 in retirement and brokerage accounts combined, and their mortgage is 9 years from being fully paid off, 6 years ahead of the original schedule. The mathematical difference between these two families wasn't earned by different incomes or different investment skills. It was earned by different decisions made quietly over 14 years about how much house was actually enough. Both lifestyles are available to you. The only question is which one you're currently choosing. This week, pull up your current mortgage statement and calculate what percentage of your take-home pay actually goes to housing, including taxes and insurance, not just the number the bank quoted you at closing. This month, call your lender and ask what an extra $200 to $500 a month toward principal would do to your payoff date, and set up that automatic extra payment if the number feels achievable. This quarter, before any renovation over $10,000, research the actual resale recoup percentage for that specific project in your market and decide with real numbers instead of a showroom feeling. Knowing your mortgage math doesn't make the next open house feel any less exciting. That's the honest part. A beautiful kitchen with better light is designed to bypass your spreadsheet and speak directly to your gut. What makes the doing easier isn't willpower in the moment you're standing in that kitchen. It's deciding your ceiling in advance, in writing, before you ever walk through a door with a real estate agent standing beside you. Picture yourself at 70. In one version, you're sitting on a modest back porch in a paid-off house that isn't remarkable to anyone but you, and the freedom that bought you means 30 more years of choices, travel, grandchildren, time that belongs entirely to you. In the other version, you're 70 and still carrying a mortgage payment on a house that's worth far more than you paid. But that number has never once translated into a dollar you could actually spend because it's locked inside walls you can't sell without needing somewhere else to live. Both versions of you made their decisions decades ago, one showing at a time. Both are living with the consequences. The truth is, this was never really about square footage. Daniel and Whitney weren't reckless. Marco and Alicia weren't ascetics. What separated them was a quiet belief about what a house is supposed to prove. That you've arrived, that the hard years are behind you, that the space matches the salary. Nobody ever sits you down and asks which belief you're building your life around. You just walk into a showing one day, feel a pull in your chest standing in a kitchen with better light than the one you have now, and the size of house you choose that day tends to define the size of the life you're able to afford for the next 30 years without you ever having noticed you were choosing. The house looks impressive from the street either way. So does the freedom of... If you found this video valuable, take a second to like, leave a comment with your biggest takeaway, and subscribe to join thousands of smart investors learning how to build lasting wealth. I'll see you in the next video.